California looks set to vote down initiatives on increasing the minimum wage, allowing rent control, and prohibiting involuntary work for inmates, while voting in harsher penalties for theft and drugs by a huge margin. Very grim for progressives. Dude, look at this. Polling on Prop 6, 41 to 56 against. What the f... I'm with the Daily Wire and Elon Musk on this one. California, dude. Holy sh... What was Prop 6? Whether or not to make slave labor for prisoners illegal. Literally, California is progressive unless it has anything to do with the homeless, prisoners, or housing policy. In which case, they're Hitlerites. The crazy thing is, no one's even fighting Prop 6. Like, you would think Prop 6 is losing because California is getting blanketed with ads from demons who are saying, like, if you vote for Prop 6, every prisoner will get a lollipop and a child to molest. But no one's really fighting it. Californians just authentically are demonic. Remember Kamala Harris herself argued that we shouldn't reduce sentencing because we might run out of slave labor when she was AG? I feel like I remember that, but I don't remember it well enough to, like, confidently repeat it. Do you have a link to that? Not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying, like, I want, like, a reminder on it. But I remember a gist like it. Is anyone campaigning for Prop 6? Some people. I don't think it's, like, a huge... I feel like it should be kind of obvious, man. Every morning, tens of thousands of incarcerated individuals in California prisons must work a job they did not necessarily choose. They cook and serve meals, they keep the facilities clean, they collect, wash, and distribute laundry. If prisoners decide to stop reporting to their assigned jobs, or if they attempt to prioritize educational or rehabilitative programs during their mandated work hours, they won't simply risk losing the job, they'll face disciplinary infractions. That's crazy. This is called slavery? Yep, definitionally. If you don't go to work, we're going to punish you. And they do. I remember the first time I saw a man cry like he broke down because he had just lost his mother, and he was still forced to go to work under threat of punishment. It's like the guy can't even take a day off for a couple days to grieve. I expect so much more from my state. You really shouldn't. Californians are miserable when it comes to homelessness and housing, and I think Americans in general just despise prisoners. This is the reason why, like, advocates for better prison system, or like for prison reform, always have to pretend that all prisoners are just people who got arrested for smoking a joint, you know? I don't give a shit if the people in prison are murderers, man. Like, every single one of them. The way we treat prisoners is f***ing insane. Kamala Harris's Attorney General office tried to keep inmates locked up for cheap labor. That's cool. Lawyers for California also argued that allowing certain inmates to be paroled early would deplete a program that allowed prisons to fight wildfires. I remember that. Kamala Harris's AG office made the case that some nonviolent offenders need to stay incarcerated or else the prison system would lose a source of cheap labor. This one girl from my high school AP English class used to talk about how inmates should be used for testing instead of animals, and she wants to be a cop in California, by the way. Yeah, that tracks. Extending 2-for-1 credits to all minimum custody inmates at this time would severely impact fire camp participation, a dangerous outcome while California is in the middle of a difficult fire season and severe drought. Lawyers for Harris wrote in the filing, noting that the fire camp program requires physical fitness in addition to a level of clearance that allowed the felon to be off-site. I mean, yeah, this is pretty clearly Kamala Harris doing exactly that. We can't let people off early because we need slaves to fight fires. That's cool. Thank you, Kamala Harris. It's her lawyers. Why can't we get her words on it? What the f*** are you talking about? It was her... They speak for her. Her office. Who gives a shit what she says personally? Not surprising to me she wouldn't want to make a statement on that personally. That's pretty bad optics. Leave the slavery defense to your legal team so that it's not like front page news. She wasn't AG when this happened? Wait, Masagui, what am I missing here? Ordered to reduce the population of California's overcrowded prisons, lawyers from then California Attorney General Kamala Harris's office made the case that some nonviolent offenders need to stay incarcerated or the prison system would lose a source of cheap labor. In 2011, the Supreme Court ruled in Brown v. Plata that California's prisons were so overcrowded they violated the Constitution's prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment. 3 years later, in early 2014, the state was ordered to allow nonviolent second-time offenders who have served half their sentence to be eligible for parole. By September 2014, plaintiffs in the class action lawsuit were back in court accusing California of slow-walking the process, which lawyers for Harris's office denied. What am I missing here? I mixed it up with the later part of the article that said 2018. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, pro-slavery. I hate her, I hate her, I hate her, I hate her. I do. Kamala was trying to pass the buck and not take responsibility for this. Oh, God. California AG shocked to learn her office wanted to keep eligible parolees in jail to work. Lawyers for California Attorney General Harris argued releasing nonviolent inmates early would harm efforts to fight California wildfires. Harris told BuzzFeed News she first heard about it when she read it in the paper. Oh, I'm sure. The lawyers for your Attorney General's office made that case publicly, and you learned about it from the paper. Oh, well, that was horrible of them. I would never. Come on. Why are we talking about stuff from 10 years ago? Because Californians right now are about to vote no on a proposition that would ban prison slavery in California. I'll be very candid with you because I saw that article this morning and I was shocked, and I'm looking into it to see if the way it was characterized in the paper was actually how it occurred in court. Harris told BuzzFeed News in an interview Monday, I was very troubled by what I read. I just need to find out what we did actually say in court. Okay. Aren't you Californian? Not anymore, though I don't know what that has to do with me. I didn't do this. In a September 30th filing in the case signed by Deputy Attorney General Patrick McKinney, but under Harris's name, the state argued, yeah, dude, I just heard about it in the papers. It was just my lawyers filing an argument in federal court against a ruling made by the Supreme Court of the United States in a filing by my Deputy Attorney General under my name. I just heard about it this morning, man. We're all trying to find out who did this. There are like 40 deputy AGs. Why are you defending this? Do you have any? Why are you like taking pleasure in being a rube? Like, what is it really that difficult to look at this and like, oh, obviously, Kamala Harris, an attorney general, by the way, like the bad guy. Like, let's just be clear. Like, attorney generals, generally speaking, are not of a political disposition that we're on the team with. Sorry, I just know how AG offices work. I refuse to believe that attorney general offices work in such a way that you could make a filing under an AG's name from a deputy AG delivered by lawyers to a federal court following a Supreme Court ruling that is objectively a pro-slavery argument that you don't hear about until you read it in the papers. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. Okay, well, it happens constantly. All right, well, I'm blaming her for it anyway. Sorry, that's how leadership works. I mean, you can pull that card if you want. You can pull that card. Like, you know, but the buck stops there. Like, oh, well, actually, it's such a disjointed bureaucracy that nobody knows. Well, sorry, you're top of the office. I'm not, yeah. Whoops, people accidentally defended slavery in my name. Anyway, shouldn't we be talking about how California's citizens are Hitlerites? Several other states, including Colorado, Alabama, Tennessee, and Vermont, recently have banned forced labor in prison. It is genuinely insane. Like, do you have any idea how wealthy California is? It's so fucked up. Like, California bleeds money. It uses it so inefficiently. We don't clear out. I say we like I'm still in California. They don't clear out the fucking forests. They let dry brush sit there forever so PG&E can light 60,000 fires every year, you know, during dry season. They don't give a shit. And meanwhile, you take a look at like the budgets and it's like, oh yeah, sorry, we know that like California produces more money than God. Like California is a bona fide like Catholic church, a Vatican City of wealth. But, you know, we spend all of it on cops, sorry. And like stupid bullshit. We spent $8 trillion on a high-speed rail project that never happened because Elon Musk said, what if we use teleporters? And then we like kicked our feet for 15 years and China built 60 million miles of high-speed rail. A lot of California's budget is spent on breaking up homeless encampments. Yeah. Newsom spent $300 million to move homeless people in 2023. Why not enslave them? Like, that seems to be where this is all leading. Why not just like get on it, man? Just advance the dialectic. That's clearly where you want this to go. He looks evil. Gavin Newsom is extremely evil. Yeah, genuinely, Eddie. Just the average American. No one organized a campaign to oppose Prop 6, yet the measure appeared to face an uphill climb in mail-in voting began this month. It really is like a red pill against democracy, again. I know that people are like, you know, being influenced by bourgeois propaganda and so on and so forth, but it is genuinely crazy that, like, it took nothing. Who was advocating for it, though? I mean, there are groups advocating for it, but I guess my hope would be that even in a completely neutral environment where nobody is voting for or against Prop 6, the average person would be against slavery. I mean, I know it's like a naive belief of mine, and I apologize for that. I apologize for my naivete, but, you know, that's a lie, Vosh. You're misinformed. California's budget is not responsible for national forest. The federal government is. Yeah, but there's lots of forest in California that's not federal property, and they mismanage that, too. But yes, I agree. The federal government is very much responsible in large part for that as well. And a lot of it is federal, yeah, but a lot of it isn't. To be fair to California, other states don't have a referendum on this at all. Is that really like being fair to California? Like, oh, 60% of Californians are in favor of slavery, but like at least they had the decency to ask. That to me is like, I don't know. That's like such a low bar, it almost feels insulting to consider it as a bar. It's like pointing at a floorboard. At least they walked over the floorboard. Putting a piece of tape on the ground and like flattening it so it's completely flush with the hardwood and stepping over it. It's like, okay, well, they didn't trip over that. I mean, that's not the only thing that there's not even an argument against the proposition in the guide. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, man. Prop 6. Background proposal, fiscal effects. And ending slavery is a bipartisan priority with widespread support. No argument against Proposition 6 was submitted. Genuinely, like, unbelievable black pill. The depth of despair, like, incomprehensible. Fucking grim. These are the pamphlets that are sent out, like, for people who want general election information on the local propositions. Here are all the benefits to ending slavery. There are no detriments to ending slavery. California's vote, 62 to 38 in favor of keeping slavery. Thank you. Are we the baddies? I genuinely think that if there was a state proposition passed where they were like, it's legal to rape felons, like it's okay. If they have a felony on their record, you can rape them. I think that would like pass. I'm kind of not kidding. I think that would pass. The median American does not think of prisoners as human beings. They do not care. They like really, really don't. Every time there's a natural disaster, they get left in the prisons to die. No one gives a shit. It floods or whatever else. The proposition to like put air conditioning in, what was it, Texas jails, which can get like 120 degrees in their cramped little cells, was just met with widespread mockery from everyone. We don't believe in rehabilitation, like, as a concept. I mean, we already have prison rape jokes integrated into our culture. Yeah, because we don't care. Like, we don't care. No argument against Proposition 6 was submitted. Yeah, Hidden Marty, that's the point. It's losing. The proposition is losing. 41 to 56 in the early count. It's not even the only proposition here. I don't remember all the props. California propositions. And go through them here. Number 2 is authorizes bonds for public school and community college facilities. Number 3, constitutional right to marriage. Amend California Constitution to recognize fundamental right to marry regardless of sex or race. That's nice. So that's in favor. Number 4, authorize bonds for safe drinking water. Number 5, allows local bonds for affordable housing and public infrastructure. That one's 48 to 50. 6 is the slavery one. 32, raise the minimum wage. 44 to 54. For employers with 26 or more employees to $17 per hour immediately, 18 on January 1st, 2025. For employers with 25 or fewer employees, 17 on January 1st, 2025, 18 on January 1st, 2026. Supporters, none. Opponents, California Chamber of Commerce, California Restaurant Association, California Grocers Association. Nice. So, nothing there. Number 33. Expands local government's authority to enact rent control. Losing. Number 34. Restricts spending of prescription drug revenues by certain healthcare providers. Losing, though close. Number 35. Provides permanent funding for Medi-Cal healthcare services. Winning. How nice. And 36, which is winning by a remarkable 73 to 25, allows felony charges and increased sentences for certain drug and theft crimes. So that's the one thing Californians are turning out in favor of by a 3-to-1 margin, is felonies and higher, longer sentences for theft and drug crimes. Drug crimes! Allows felony charges for possessing certain drugs and for thefts under 950 if defendant has 2 prior drug or theft convictions. Ah, we're doing the 3-strike rule all over again. Arguments in favor of Prop 36. Prop 36 makes California communities safer by addressing rampant theft and drug trafficking. It toughens penalties for fentanyl and drug traffickers and smash and grabs while holding repeat offenders accountable. It targets serial thieves and encourages treatment for those addicted to drugs using a balanced approach to fix loopholes in current laws. Anti-Prop 36. Don't be fooled. Prop 36 will lead to more crime, not less. It reignites the failed war on drugs, makes simple drug possession a felony, and wastes billions on prisons, while slashing crucial funding for victims, crime prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation. This puts prisons first and guts treatment. Vote no. It's going to pass. Wow, what a surprise. This one's supported by the California District Attorneys Association and the Family Business Association. It doesn't matter what state it is. The Family Business Association is always a Hitlerite group. Prop 6 and 36 work so well together. Yep. Gonna have people given felony charges for possession of fent, and then they're gonna go and be enlisted in the Californian Slave Corps against the 17,000 wildfires that get sprung up every year from climate change and PG&E not fixing the damn wires in their power stations. Great synergy on 6 and 36. Really good build path on that one. Yeah, damn penal battalions are going to be like Allahu Akbar suicide bombing forest fires by strapping a bunch of water tanks to their body and being dropped on them via helicopter. It's the only method to fight the fires. It's the only way. 6+36 banned in tournament play. True. Man, me on the ladder. My opponent plays the give fent possession a felony charge plus slave felon penal allegiance. God damn it. This is like the 4th time in a row I've faced this deck. God damn it. Hate this meta. Me when I get infinited by the Hitler deck. Man, I fucking hate the Hitler deck. Yeah, at least Anna Kasparian's going to be happy with the results. Maybe she won't move out of California. This is the greatest state of all time. We've got to stop. We've got to stop. It's too funny. We have to stop.